So it is Miss Universe fever. We're almost there. It is like less than a month to go. Miss Universe countdown in New Orleans, USA. And I'm talking to one of the front runners, a super strong candidate, a powerhouse in the Miss Universe. Y ella se llama Amanda Dudamel de Venezuela from Caracas.
Hola, hola. Muchas gracias. I'm so blessed to be here and to have had this great opportunity. So thank you, really. Thank you for the invitation.
Yeah, I mean, I was reading about your life and I really love it because you're an athlete. I was an athlete before I joined the broadcasting, and I was a tennis player and you played tennis. So
I played tennis for a lot of years. That's incredible.
Yeah, so from tennis to fashion to factory. Very, very interesting life. I see that you've traveled around the world and you've been the Miss Universe Venezuela since October 2021. So you have been preparing for more than a year, Amanda. So I guess you're ready.
I am more than ready and I am counting the days. And now I understand how useful it has been to have had this preparation for more than a year, just as you said, because I've become a new woman, like a stronger woman, more confident. I have been able to develop a lot of projects to connect with all my Miss Universe sisters. So it's been really a transforming year, and I am really grateful for this opportunity because it's not common to have more than a year of preparation previous to Miss Universe. And well, as you said, I have had also the opportunity to travel a lot, and not only, also to change passions. You know, I started with tennis, then I got into design, into fashion design, with really it makes me feel passionate, and now I'm finding the way to mix all these things that blow my heart.
Yeah, well, it's amazing that you say to me that in a year you are a different woman, right? That's what you said. That's incredible. So what about you has changed?
Wow, a lot of things, because now I realize why people say that pageantry really makes you grow a lot more than what you will probably grow in a normal year. I have become, well, in one side, I have become pretty much confident. And in another side, I have developed a lot of tools. Like, for example, I never used to make up myself. And now, I previously had the interview and I was looking at the time, it was 9 p.m. and I said, okay, it's time to get ready. And now I'm being able to get to know my face, to get to know what looks good on me. So it's a lot of things, part of the preparation, that it just makes you feel a lot more secure as a woman. And that is reflected on what you do and how you talk and how you approach life in general.
Yeah, well, you know, Miss Venezuela has 7 Miss Universe titles. I think you're tied with the US with the most number of titles. So you're there to break the tie and to prove that Venezuela is the powerhouse when it's universe. Amanda, why did you want to join the Miss Universe? And what's it like being a beauty queen in Venezuela?
Well, there's a particular story about that first question, because when you start competing in the Miss Venezuela here, they always ask you, why do you want to become Miss Venezuela? Right. And when I was during the competition, we had 2 months previous to the final night, and I was analyzing everything, you know, what should I answer when they get to do this question to me? And I started remembering the story of my life with my family, watching the beauty pageants. And I realized that I actually always focused on the Miss Universe, even more than the Miss Venezuela, because I always saw like Miss Venezuela for Venezuelans is culture. It's like there's no option to choose whether you watch it or not. It's like you have to watch it because it's part of us. But Miss Universe, it was much bigger. So I always dreamt with the Miss Universe, particularly with this beauty pageant. So if you ask me why do I want, firstly, it's been throughout my veins since I have since I remember. My mom was also a beauty queen.
Ah,
And then,
your mom
yeah,
was also a queen.
she was a beauty queen in my country. And she didn't go to the, in my city, sorry. And she didn't go to the Miss Venezuela because she married my dad. So we have like a family history about pageantry, which is, it is pretty awesome because it's now like, it was meant to be that it was on me, you know, like the role of making this dream come true. And then is the thing that Miss Venezuela, like here is the biggest beauty pageant ever. So how wouldn't I compete? And when the opportunity arrived, I understood that it was the perfect moment now to pursue the biggest dream of going to Miss Universe.
Yeah. Well, you know, so now I learned that your mom was a beauty queen and your dad, I read, was a professional football player. Am I correct?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, so you had beauty pageant background and sports, and you started with sports, but then you diverted to beauty pageant. Was your dad okay with that? Didn't he push you to no, be an athlete, be a professional tennis player?
No, fortunately, he always pushed me to pursue my dreams, really, because it was also his case. You know, becoming a professional soccer player is not easy.
Yeah.
And he had to leave by aside his university studies. And it was not an easy decision, but he was so sure about what he wanted to do. And his mom supported him always. She always supported him because she believed in him. And in my case, even when I decided to study fashion design, because fashion design here in Venezuela is not a common career.
Oh,
and
really?
it's not one of those careers that you say you are making your life secure, you know? So many people from my family told me, why don't you study architecture? Why don't you study dentistry? You know, like you will make your life a little bit more secure. But I was also so sure that fashion was what I wanted to live for. And my dad just told me, go after it. And the same thing happened with the Miss Venezuela. I was afraid. I need to confess. I was so afraid because of the history we had with my mom.
Yeah.
But when the moment arrived, he was so proud. Like the day after, we went, I don't know, we went into a shopping mall or a bank, and he was telling everyone, like, you know, she's my daughter and she's going to be Miss Venezuela. And I was like, Dad, you cannot say that because I have not become not even a candidate. But that made me so happy.
Yeah. Well, now having a sports background, has that helped you in your being a beauty queen? And if yes, como? How?
How? Well, now I always tell whenever a little girl comes to me and they tell me like, how should I do this? I want to become a beauty queen. I tell them, this is a discipline. This is like sports. You need to be constant. You need to be really, really focused on where do you want to arrive. And that is what my dad demonstrated me throughout my whole life. And when I started on this, I had a 2 weeks period where I was training with Tammy in Weston. She's a health coach. And I had to wake up every morning at 6:30 a.m. and we train 8 hours a day. And
wow.
I only had in 4 hours in the morning, 4 hours at night.
What training?
We did a lot of classes. It was like mix of classes. We did Pilates, we did boxing, some cardio, some weights. So you have like intervals of training, but it was, I really thought it was impossible. But I threw myself there. And wow. I only thought like, if my dad demonstrated me through my whole life that he woke up, not at 6, at 5 a.m. every single morning to go and train and leave the name of my country and the highest point, this is the minimum thing that I can do, because I also want to get to shout out the name of Venezuela, but supported by the work and by the preparation.
Viva sports. Are you watching the World Cup? Is Venezuela still in? No,
we have never classified to a World Cup, you know, but beauty pageants and Miss Universe is our beauty World Cup.
Yeah. Okay. So I also read that you've traveled to so many, you lived in so many countries or traveled there, Colombia, Chile, South Africa, and you studied in Italy. When did you travel to all these places and what did you do there?
Well, because of my dad's work, we moved every year. So when I
Oh,
was, yeah, when I was born, we went immediately. We immediately moved to Colombia. So we lived a lot in Colombia, like probably for 4 years, 1 year, and then we came. Yeah, that was my dad's life. And at the beginning, I thought it was pretty hard because as a kid, as a young kid, you needed to adapt to a new school, get to know new people, and make new friends. But in the end, I think that's a great adaptability capacity that you start developing. And now I die for traveling, and I always want to be moving myself. And that's the story. So yeah, we had the chance to do it because of my dad's job. South Africa was one of the greatest countries of those experiences, but also Colombia, then Chile. And this same like constant movement, it made me then take my own decisions and want to do it. And that's why I applied for a scholarship and I won it in Italy and I did my career there.
Wow, that's nice. So I guess that's a big motivation for winning the Miss Universe because you would be traveling all over the world. Isn't that one of the things about if should you win?
That's so true. And I will be so happy to do it because I enjoy it, you know, and I like to get to know new cultures. It's part of my history and I really enjoy and I have learned to take advantage of it, get to know a lot about the other cultures.
So what would you say is your Miss Universe motto? Like, let's say Pia was like confidently beautiful with a heart, right? What is your main motto as you present yourself in this Miss Universe competition?
Wow. Well, I'm a fashion designer. I'm a sustainability enthusiast. And I have found out throughout this whole year, it has not been easy because I have been like setting goals to myself in what refers to fashion, because I want to showcase also my labor as a fashion designer and the sustainability aspect. But I have also found out that it's not only about beautiful dresses. It's about beautiful voices and beautiful messages. And that's also what I want to show. And fashion is my channel of communication. So that's what I'm here for. I'm here to show my message and also spread and potentiate the messages of my fellow Miss Universe sisters throughout my projects and throughout supporting each other.
That's nice. Well, you want to bring forth your beautiful message. So, Amanda, should you win Miss Universe, what beautiful message will you be? I'm sure there are many, but give me a couple of beautiful messages that you want to sound off to all the women of the universe today.
Well, first of all, that we can all make that difference from the tools that we have in our hands. I'm a fashion designer and many people doubted about my career. And I have found a way to have a big impact in the environmental aspect and social aspects throughout my career. And I always invite people to do it throughout theirs, because you can be a dentistry, you can be an architect, or you can be an engineer, but you can still make a difference in the world. So that's like my key for life, because we can all get, you know, like to help in a sense from what we're passionate about. And then the biggest thing of all is having the courage to take action, to believe in yourself, to feel confident, but you won't ever feel confident enough to say this is the correct time. You need to take the risk, do it, and then you will start feeling even more and more confident to start achieving more and more goals.
Nice. At 24 years old, what is the most courageous thing would you say have you done?
At 24, sorry?
What is the most courageous thing that you have done in your life so far?
Well, there are diverse, but the thing the experience when I wanted to go and study in Italy, I was 17 years old, and
Wow, very young.
yeah, I was pretty young, and I knew I had to do it with a scholarship because my family has always supported me, but it was not easy. Like we're in another side of the world. I was going to another continent, so
Right.
my parents supported me, but they told me like, you need to find a way to make it possible. So I started applying to this scholarship, and I won it in Italy after 2 years of applying. And
Wow.
it was in English, everything was perfect. Okay, great, I achieved it. And then a month before, they told me, your career this year is not going to start in English. It's going to start in Italy. So we can change your career, your title, like you have to study something else. Change the city, and you still have to study something else. Or we can give you back the scholarship and you can apply another year. The solution is, if you want to remain in Rome, you study in Italian, and you need to arrive here, and we assure you that we will help you learn the language.
Wow.
I called my dad, I called my mom, and I was like, what should I do? Should I take it or leave it? And they just said, go for it. I mean, I always have loved cultures, as I told you, and I love languages. And I said, what is the worst thing that could ever happen? I mean, it's Italy. Well, I had never been in Italy before, and I didn't know anyone in Rome. And I arrived by myself at 17 years old without speaking the language, but I
Wow.
was doing my dream. And I was arriving to a dreamy place because Rome is the most wonderful city in the world.
Mhm.
To study what I was passionate about, I had to overcome some not, let's not call them problems. There was like some challenges.
Mhm.
It was the best decision I could ever make.
Wow. Wait, so you actually learned to speak in Italian because you had to study in Italian?
Yeah, that's true.
Wow. So you speak Italian as well?
Parlo italiano, sì.
Wow. So you'll be able to talk to our candidate Celeste Cortesi, who is half Italian.
Yes. And I am talking to her next week. It's going to be a great chat.
That's nice. That's nice. So yeah, you're gonna be talking to Celeste in your podcast, weekly podcast. It's called Voices of the Universe. So tell us about this.
Yeah, it's called Voices Across the Universe. And the idea came because, as you mentioned, I was selected like on a pretty early stage.
Yeah.
It hadn't even happened, that edition for Miss Universe. So I was the first delegate selected. And I really had a great experience with all my Miss Venezuela sisters when I competed here. And I wanted to recreate that in this experience. So being the first one, I felt even like I had the responsibility to make something for that to happen.
Mhm.
And when the other girls started to be selected too, I started talking to them and getting their numbers, and we chatted through WhatsApp. And I was like getting to, you know, like build relationships with them. I remember one of the first ones was Ghana, Kazakhstan, then also Indonesia. And one day I was talking to my family, and we said like, how can I really make this happen? I want to remain with the same experience and friendships that I have now with my Miss Venezuela sisters. So we developed the idea, and we wondered if it was going to work, because it's not easy to sustain on time. You know, we are all full of activities and full of travels. But well, once again, we took the risk and we made it, and we started to develop the project. We found out that the name with Gabriela Isler, one of my directors, and she loved the idea. And we started to contact the girls, and one by one, they were getting so excited. And then the public started loving the project. And while we had been like working on the project, then everything started to get more and more sense. And it became a place, a space where we are able to chat naturally as friends who are getting to know each other and who are going to live the best experience of their lives. But we are already knowing each other. So when the time arrives that we get to be in New Orleans together, the story is going to be totally different. We're going to take advantage of that moment to the maximum because we already know each other. Like we always talk and we say like, oh my God, I want to finally arrive and give you a hug. And I will be so glad to know that we already met. So we won't be in that point where you're kind of shy, you know, and you don't know where to start. We already went over that step. So Voices Across the Universe is a place to chat, to be fresh, authentic, to exchange about our cultures, and most important of all, to get to know what is our purpose and potentiate together. Because the slogan is 2 women, 1 powerful message. So I like to close conversations. Firstly, we get to know each other, how we started in pageantry, what are we passionate about, and how are we working on our projects, or what is our advocacy. And in the end, we close with a message together from what we learned from each other during the conversation. So I really have learned a lot from all of them. They are all incredible. And we share that in common, that we want to share those messages to the world. But we also understood that they will become stronger and louder if we do it together.
Nice. I'm gonna look for that. Voices of the Universe by Amanda Dudamel. Right?
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. I hope you like it.
Yeah. And you have your own clothing brand by Amanda Dudamel. Is that correct? And
Yes,
you're also co-founder of the brand Reborn the Brand. Can you tell us about that?
Yes. Well, Reborn the Brand was the first entrepreneurship that I created after graduating. But in December, I took the decision of starting with my own brand, which is Amanda Dudamel. So Reborn was an athleisure brand made from, it was active wear, made from recycled textiles. And now I'm focusing on pret-a-porter, on casual wear for women.
Nice.
Yeah.
I would love to see that. What do you have a website? Do you have a website for your by Amanda Dudamel?
Yes, I have an account. I have an account that is called by Amanda Dudamel. And I have some pieces here. Maybe I can show you one jacket.
So you have it on Instagram?
I also have it on Instagram, yeah.
Can I see some of the pieces? I spoke to Arboni. She's also a fashion designer. So you guys are gonna have fun talking about your fashion sense.
A lot. Look, I just presented one collection 5 days ago. It's pretty recent. And this is the runway.
Oh, wait, how can I see that?
On my Instagram.
Okay. Wow. So are you making any of your own pieces, like of what you're going to wear in New Orleans?
Yes, for sure. I am in charge on a capsule collection, and it's going to be for some of the most special moments. I'm working on the outfit that I'm going to wear for the jury interview. I'm also working on the outfit that I'm going to wear to arrive to New Orleans.
Wow.
More surprises to see.
Wow. Wow. I'm gonna look out for all your outfits. Arrival outfit, interview outfit, activities outfit, prelim, and your evening gowns. Give us a little clue about your evening gowns, please, because Venezuela always has amazing gowns.
That's true. Yeah. Well, I'm so excited about those two. And it has not been easy because it's a super special night. I believe here in Venezuela, you celebrate your 15 years. I don't know if it's the same there. Like the most special years, it's 15. And the dress you wear for that night, it should be, you know, like magic, like the biggest decision of your life. What dress are you gonna wear? I'm feeling the same. It's like, what dress am I going to wear for the best night of my life? It's not easy, but well, I'm also taking part in it. I'm going to do it with the same designer that worked with me in the Miss Venezuela. And at that time, we always shared ideas, and he also let me be part. He gave me the chance to be part of the creation of the dress. So now it's going to be the same. We have already, you know, like did this brainstorming, choose colors, details. We are almost ready with the idea, but still trying on some things.
Oh, so you haven't really finalized it yet, huh? It's still under construction.
It's still under construction.
Super exciting. Now, you have several advocacies. Can you tell us about that? Well, you're a part of, you support Un Par por un Sueño Foundation. Can you tell us about that and also your other advocacy?
Yeah, well, my main advocacy is sustainability applied to environmental aspects and social aspects. And I do it through fashion, as I told you. It's my career, so it's what really makes me feel passionate and where I believe that I can have an impact. So we work with Un Par por un Sueño in a brand called Made in Petare. I have some of our products here. We make bags in Made in Petare. They have like their own tag. It's okay, right?
That's a bag? That's a bag?
It's a bag. It's like a clutch. You can wear, you can use it for makeup, you can use it for accessories, and you can use it like a clutch.
Nice, nice. I love it. How can we see those bags as well?
We have a website, Made in Petare.
How do you spell Petare? Because maybe our Filipino pageant fans might want to support it as well. How do you spell Petare? P-E?
So much. P-E-T-A-R-E. Petare.
Made in Petare.
Exactly. Nice. So this brand, we work along with the nonprofit organization with this, which is Un Par por un Sueño. So Un Par por un Sueño already existed like 10 years ago, but Made in Petare arrived to the world to sustain this nonprofit organization throughout our products. So we always come back to the seed, you know, it's like impacting through fashion. We are selling bags, but we are also selling histories, and we are given the opportunity for people to contribute to our nonprofit organization throughout our bags. And in Made in Petare, we work with the moms of the children of the organization. So it's also given the tools to get to work and be able to be the leader of your life, the moms of the children. Also for the children to have that example and not only know that they are receiving things and they need to receive things for life. They also need to work. They also need to study and get prepared, because they are also going to be able to sustain themselves for life. And that's why we on Made in Petare. And then on my brand, Amanda Dudamel, I work on the sustainability part, but for the environment. I work so closely detailed on the textiles I choose, on how I make them, on the pieces that I cut and the textiles that I'm not working with. I make upcycle. I'm experimenting with a lot of sustainable methods for producing. And I like to, cover those two areas. I believe that we are able to do that. You are able to do that throughout your passion, doing what you love, but also loving what you can achieve with that work.
That's beautiful. I love all the things you're doing, Amanda.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You have a big advantage in the sense that you have Gabriela Eastler, who was a Miss Universe, as your national director. So what has she been teaching you all this time in your preparation?
Well, I always tell it, because many people have asked me, but the first thing that Gabriela gave me as a big message, it was that I needed to be always authentic. It was like, since you wake up, since you come here, since you talk to anyone, and then when you arrive there, you need to be the best version of yourself. That's always like that. And you can say things, but you also need to show it. And she shows it. So it's also like, I can learn it from her, because she's authentic. She was authentic when she was Miss Universe, and she still is. So that has been like a great advice. And I love it. I love it because there's nothing more gratifying than being yourself. You don't have to limit yourself. You don't have to force it or try to pretend to be something you are not. You only need to talk about your reality and what you know about you. Like, who can ever know more about you than yourself?
That's true, true. And I remember that moment when Gabriela won. I was there. It was a beautiful win. And you know, I met her several times. She was in Bangkok. She even came to the Philippines
Okay.
once. Would you like to come to the Philippines, maybe?
I would love to go there. I would love to go.
Do you like the islands? Do you like the beach?
I love islands. I come from a city that is actually in the mountain. I think that's why I'm so attracted to islands. And what about you? Would you like to come to Venezuela? Have you ever been here?
No, I have never been to Venezuela. The only South American country I've been to is Brazil when the Miss Universe was held there. So,
Okay.
but you know, I speak Spanish because I'm part Spanish because, you know, the Philippines was under Spain for hundreds of years. So I speak Spanish. And so that's one of the countries that I would love to explore more. South America, and Venezuela, I think is, yeah, very, very, very interesting.
Tienes que
Hopefully.
venir. Tienes que venir a visitarnos.
Yeah, maybe I hope one time the Miss Universe can be held in Venezuela,
Let's hope so.
right? I don't think has it ever been hosted there?
No, never, never, never. But people here love pageantry. So it would be the biggest event on earth.
Yeah. So Amanda, I hear from Paula that the motto or the tagline for this year's Miss Universe is uniquely beautiful, right? That's what she said, being uniquely beautiful. So what would you say makes you most unique?
Well, oh my God. I believe that we all have those special qualities that makes us unique. Part of that authenticity, you know, that needs to be characteristic on each of us. So I believe I'm that kind of girl that is here not only because of the pageantry, but also because I want to share this experience with my sisters, to learn about them. I'm passionate about cultures. But most of all, what I do think that makes me unique is that I always try to make any experience in my life have an impact, in any single step I call it like an impact stamp, because I do believe that is simple. It's like you can go out of your building and smile to the whatever person you cross by, and that will make a difference on its day. And then if you have a big project, then you also need to do it on any scale. Do a big project, but also focus on what is the impact that it's having. So it's about making it a lifestyle. And I believe that that's part of me. And I like to showcase it and invite people to do it from their own passions.
Nice. Well, the Miss Universe is less than a month away. How are you feeling? Are you nervous, excited? Try to describe some of the emotions that you're going through.
I am so excited. I'm not nervous yet. I don't know if it's going to arrive that point where I will feel pretty nervous. I hope not at all. I hope that this emotion remains of satisfaction and only, you know, like happiness of knowing that I'm going to get to meet my Miss Universe sister and have a great experience. So I'm pretty excited, counting the days. I am counting the days. Today we are 40 days away from
okay.
Yeah. So I just can't wait. I know it's going to be incredible.
Yeah, well, you know, I speak to a lot of pageant enthusiasts here in the Philippines, and when I ask them, so what do you think of the candidates? They always mention you, Venezuela, as one of the strongest candidates. So you're always among the top picks. So how does that make you feel that you're a pre-pageant favorite?
Well, that's a blessing. That's a blessing and an honor, because I do think that it has been because of the work that they have seen, because of the projects that I have been able to develop, also the connection that you get to have to the public. I always say it, the people who follow us, that public, they make this experience be real, be a reality. So they need to be part of it too. And I love to enjoy it with them. So that's an honor, you know, like getting to understand that they can consider me a front runner, as you say. It's a blessing, because I'm only working to become a more confident and stronger version of Amanda, which is going to arrive at New Orleans. And if they see that as an evolution and as an important participation, that fulfills my satisfaction to the fullest.
Great. When are you traveling to New Orleans?
January the 3rd.
Oh, going first day of registration, huh? And who is going to be with you? Do you have a big you have your family coming with you or no?
Yes, some members of my family are coming, but well, they will arrive from the 9th of January and on.
That's nice. Well, Amanda, before we go, I want to ask, since you speak so many languages, can I ask you to greet the pageant fans in English first, then Spanish, and then Italian?
Okay. Yeah. Of course. Well, I want to give a big thank you for you all. Thank you for being always here supporting us, even in those moments when we really need that motivation, that extra punch to keep on going. Muchísimas gracias a todos porque ustedes son parte de esto. Gracias a todos los que nos han seguido durante este camino, porque esta experiencia ha sido maravillosa, porque están ustedes allí siempre pendientes, apoyándonos y dándonos ese extra esfuerzo, ese extra toque de motivación che necessitiamo sempre. Grazie a tutti, grazie per supportarci sempre, per vivere questo percorso con noi. Non vedo l'ora di arrivare a New Orleans e poter vivere questa esperienza con tutte queste donne meravigliose che ci troverò lì. Thank you so much also for you. Thank you.
Hey, I asked Celeste the same thing to give us a sample of how she would introduce herself. If they have an opening number when they say, "Hello, I'm Amanda Dudamel from Venezuela." So could you give us a sample of maybe your introduction?
Yes, of course. Well, I would say I am Amanda Dudamel Newman. I am 23 years old and I am from Venezuela.
Gracias. Gracias.
Gracias.
You're super young. It seems like you've done so much already. You have so many experiences.
Yeah, well, thanks God. Thanks God I have been able to have all those opportunities. But yeah, I'm 23 years old and there are still a lot to come.
Nice. All right. Well, thank you so much for chatting. I really enjoyed my time with you and I'm looking forward to meeting you in New Orleans. I'll be arriving there on the 6th of January. So I'll look out for you and I'll look out for you for sure.
Okay, great. See you there. See you there. And thank you so much to you and to the whole team who make this opportunity a reality. Thank you for the interview. I enjoyed a lot as well. And I hope everyone enjoys it.